to the Commission on Teachers and Administrator Education Certification and Licensure and Development meeting this morning. I'm so glad to see all of you here today. Glad that we all made it through the storm. Hopefully that everyone made it through safely and your families as well are safe. I am Deborah Mays Jackson, Chair of the Commission on Teachers and Administration Education Certification and Licensure and Development Commission, present at via teleconference from Jackson, Mississippi. This meeting of the Commission is being held today, Friday, May 7, 2021, at 10 a.m. pursuant to Mississippi Code Annotated 25-41-5, with some Commission members present via teleconference. The notice of this meeting, including the date, time, place, and purpose of the meeting, has been posted. An audio recording is being made of this meeting, and minutes of this meeting will be recorded. This meeting is called to order at 10:01 a.m. on Friday, May 7, 2021. At this time, we would need to establish a quorum, as I call the names of the Commission members, please state the location of your presence for this meeting. James Creel.
Brookhaven, Mississippi.
William Hamilton.
Northern Alabama.
Mary Hill Taylor. John Howard.
Near Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Kim Hubbard.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Rilla Jones.
Islam, Mississippi.
Dr. Burnell Kelly.
Southport, Mississippi.
David Martin.
Present, MDE, Jackson, Mississippi.
Dr. Susan McClellan.
Oxford, Mississippi.
Teresa Poole.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Lisa Reeves Geis.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
Shelly Simmons.
Southport, Mississippi.
Rebecca Skinner Gray.
Present, Iuka, Mississippi.
Etta Taplin. MDE, Jackson, Mississippi. Awesome. A quorum of the Commission is present at the location stated for conducting the meeting through teleconference means. Thank you all for that. At this time, and on the agenda, we will need approval of the minutes of March 5th, 2021, meeting of the Commission on Teacher Administration, Education, Certification, and Licensure and Development. I will entertain a motion for approval, and please identify yourself for the record.
Kim Hubbard.
Can I get a second? Please identify yourself. Kaplan. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we need an approval of the hearing committee minutes of March 5th, 2021. Subcommittee members present on March 5th, 2021 were yours truly, Deborah Mays Jackson, Jamie Creel, and Kim Hubbard. Only the three of us will be voting on this to approve these minutes. I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve, Kim Hubbard.
Second.
You got it. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. Any discussions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we will have the approval of the hearing subcommittee minutes of March 25th, 2021. Subcommittee members present on March 25th, 2021 were Etta Taplin, Rebecca Skinner Gray, and Dr. Burnell Kelly. I will entertain a motion for approval. Please identify.
Kelly, second.
Thank you. It has been motioned and seconded. Are there any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Now we would need approval for the hearing subcommittee minutes of of April 22, 2021. Let's try that again. Approval for the hearing subcommittee minutes of April 22nd, 2021. Subcommittee members present on April 22nd, 2021 were Etta Taplin, Rebecca Skinner Gray, and Jamie Creel. I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for Jamie Creel.
Okay, we'll take Mr. Creel for the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Taplin is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Only 3 of them. Okay, adoption of the agenda. I will entertain a motion for approval to adopt the agenda, and please identify yourself for the record.
Motion to adopt the agenda, David Martin.
Martin, can I get a second?
Second, John Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, so now we're at our agenda item number 8, Mississippi Department of Education updates from Dr. Corey Murphy. I would like to say before you start, sir, that on behalf of the commission members, thank you all for the informational meeting that we had yesterday. It was very appropriate. It gave us a lot of information. I've been on the committee for a while, and it definitely reminded me of some things that I had forgotten, as well as gave me an opportunity to ask questions about things I needed to be addressed. So hats off to you, your team, to our esteemed attorney team as well, and everyone at MDE staff that participated. We appreciate that. And I would like to let the commission members know that that meeting and every other thing that we have to remember that, be clear that it is important, the role that we play. We definitely have an important role. We make decisions that affect lives, affect our student lives and the instructional environments that they are in. So clearly, we need to make sure that we take this role very seriously and that we ask questions and we follow through on the things that we are charged to do as committee mission members. So it affects all of us. So again, thank you. And now the floor is yours, Dr. Murphy.
Thank you, Dr. Mays Jackson. Good morning to everyone I didn't get the opportunity to say good morning to. And I, too, wanted to start out by thanking all of you who joined us on yesterday for the orientation / I guess, refresher for those who were not newbies. And wanted to make certain that, and hope that the things that we shared on yesterday was indeed relevant and will help you in your role as you continue to serve the children of the state of Mississippi. Usually we would conduct a retreat where we would all be together and you would have some bonding time built in, but yesterday it was a lot of sitting and viewing from the screen, and we wanted to be mindful of that. And so if you felt rushed, do know that we're always accessible and available to answer any questions that you may have. So don't hesitate to send any question you have. I have a few that do that all the time. 2 that are looking at me right now at the table. But we're here to serve you and to make certain that you have everything you need to be successful at carrying out your role as commission members. So don't hesitate to contact me or the appropriate member of our team. I also wanted to take an opportunity to thank 2 members who will be retiring at the end of May, I believe, is when their tenure is ending. And that is Dr. Susan McClellan and also Mrs. Lisa Geis. I want to thank you guys for your time and your service and the level of commitment that you've shown during your time on the commission. You will be dearly missed, and do know that we will be reaching out to you to so you not getting off that easy. You may not come to these organized meetings every other month anymore, but we will be calling on you to serve on different task force and so on and so forth so that you can continue to impact and help us to advance the field of education in the state of Mississippi. At this time, I'd like to also welcome 3 new members, 2 who are here today for their first meeting, and 1 who will be joining us at our July meeting. And so the 2 that are here today is Dr. Shelly Simmons. She serves as the principal of River Oaks Elementary School in Gulfport, Mississippi. We'd like to welcome you and thank you for volunteering your time and service. We look forward to working with you. Dr. Teresa Poole, who serves as the Dean of Education at William Carey University, is joining us. She'll be serving in the capacity of representing the private institution on the commission. And I'd like to welcome you and Dr. Teresa Jaro, Dean of Education at Mississippi State University, who will be joining us in July. She'll be serving as a representative from the public institution. And this concludes my update or welcome and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. And I, too, would like to say to Dr. McClendon and Dr. Geis that we really appreciate the services that you have provided. I've been on many hearing committees with Dr. McClendon, so we literally have, I didn't know she was leaving. So thank you so much for what you've done, how you've trained those of us who've been here. You've given us your expertise, and we really appreciate the guidance. Hopefully we can carry on in the name of you very proudly. And also to the new members.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, and it's been my honor to serve with that distinguished group on the commission and with MDE. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Guys?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. And I want to especially thank my former principal, Dr. Burnell Kelly, because she is still leading and caring for the children of this state as well as all of you. And it's just been such an honor to serve on this commission. And I have learned so much in just a few years I've been on. Things I never even knew existed as a classroom teacher that were going on in this Mississippi Department of Education. Maybe we need more of a pipeline for the teachers to understand exactly what all the role is the department does. So thank you.
Absolutely, I totally agree, and thank you again. And I'm sure you both will continue the service and do well, and we appreciate what you've done. And again, as Dr. Murphy said, don't go too far. We may be calling for you for some assistance. And again, to the new members, welcome. As the chair of the commission, I would just like to say thank you for taking the charge, for being a part of this great commission. It is a wonderful experience. I have experienced it for almost 7 years now, and I literally enjoy every meeting and everything that we discuss in reference to helping educate our educators and providing a better education environment for our students. You've taken a great charge, and we're here to assist you in any way we can to make sure that you're as successful as we all can be as a unit. So, Dr. Murphy, discussion and/or approval to establish a qualifying score for the newly revised versions of certain praxis subject assessments: audiology, test code 5343, mathematics, test code 5165, middle school mathematics, test code 5164, and middle school science, test code 5442, as recommended by the Ad hoc Committee of the Commission on Teacher and Administrator Education, Certification, and Licensure and Development. Dr. Murphy.
Thank you. As you know, at minimum or maximum, the Educational Testing Service reviews all of their assessments to ensure that they continue to align to recent or relevant standards for the particular subject areas. And so this is a routine item. We use several praxis assessments, and so you'll see from time to time, not the same test, but different praxis assessments each year. that have been refreshed or regenerated by the Educational Testing Service or Pearson, and that we utilize their Foundations of Reading assessment. And so that's what's before you today, 4 assessments that Mississippi actually utilizes as a part of, as one criterion for licensure in the area of ideology, mathematics, 712, middle school mathematics, 7-8, and then middle school science, 7-8. And so, as stated, an ad hoc committee of the ad hoc committee of the commission actually met in April to review results from a standard setting study that was conducted by the Educational Testing Service. And what you have before you today are their recommendations for a qualifying score to be assigned to these new assessments. A few years ago, you adopted a discontinued test policy. And what that policy does is helps us to transition from the current version of an assessment to the new version, which gives candidates who actually take the test that's in play or at play now, they'll have 2 years from the date of implementation of the new test to use that score for licensing purposes. And so you'll see on page 2 of this item, actually not page 2, I'm sorry, page 4 of this item, how that would actually play out. And so the new version of these assessments that are presented today will become effective on September 1 of 2021. The current version will be phased out effective August 31st of 2021. But those candidates, again, who have taken their assessment on or before August 31st of 2021 will have until August 31st, 2023 to actually use those scores. So they won't be required to take the assessment unless they don't take advantage of that reprieve that you've given them for that 2-year time frame. So that's the first portion of this item. The second portion is just clean up. The math and science partnerships were discontinued in 2018. And so this is a request of you to allow us to actually remove that language from the licensure guidelines so that guidelines actually reflect what's in effect today.
I will entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Is there a second? Thank you, Rilla, and thank you, Dr. Martin. Mr. Martin, okay. Any discussion? I would like to note that it seems that there is no change in the score for mathematics 5165. Is that correct?
That just happened that way. There was a new standard setting study conducted, and that was the score that we arrived at. But it does mirror the score that is currently assigned to the version that's active right now.
And if I remember, we lowered it a couple years ago, didn't we?
We did adjust the score to reflect how our candidates in Mississippi actually performed. So,
It was reviewed a couple years ago.
yes, sir.
And you said mathematics content knowledge is a new test?
That's the 712 assessment. And so basically, it's a refreshed version of the current version of the assessment. Yes, ma'am.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Dr. Murphy. Discussion and/or approval to add middle school math grade 7-8 endorsement code 901 to the list of approved supplemental endorsements that may be added to a valid 3-year or valid 5-year license with 18 hours of acceptable coursework bearing the MAT subject area prefix, and to remove any pre-references to the MDE approved math and science partnerships initiative. Dr. Murray, again.
And basically with this, I want to remind you of over the past couple years, we've been getting requests from superintendents and teachers and principals for the most part for additional options for mathematics for candidates to become certified. at the middle grades level and elementary level, so on and so forth. And so we've continued to try to find ways. Last year, I believe, or year before last, you actually adopted the algebra assessment, which allows candidates to get certified and add that endorsement to teach algebra and any other subject that's covered by that endorsement. Geometry was another that you approved at that same time. And so this is just another effort to address the shortage that some districts face with hiring mathematics teachers. And so what we're looking to do is add this as an option under the supplemental endorsements that can be added by 18 hours of coursework bearing the MAT mathematics prefix. And it can be added to any license that's a valid 3-year alternate route license that one would get who's just completed the initial pre-teaching requirements of the alternate route, or anyone who actually holds a standard 5-year teaching license. They'd be able to add this endorsement through that coursework.
Time I will entertain a motion for approval. Please identify.
Motion to approve, David Martin.
McClellan moves to approve. Burnell Kelly second.
Okay, McClellan approved, second by Dr. Kelly. Are there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, at item number 9 is the discussion and/or approval to establish new supplemental endorsements for Master Teacher of Personal Finance and Master Teacher of College and Career Readiness. And we have Ms. Wendy Clemens to report on that.
Good morning, Dr. Mays Jackson. Good morning, commission members. Office of Secondary Education is requesting approval to establish 2 supplemental endorsements. These endorsements will become effective academic school year 2021-22. Basically, teachers who complete the Master Teacher of Personal Finance and/or the Master Teacher of College and Career Readiness courses, they may add a supplemental endorsement in their respective areas to any valid 5-year license issued by the Mississippi Department of Education. And you can see the backup. It describes to you what the Master Teacher of Personal Finance is. You'll notice that it's 45 hours estimated time that teachers put into this very rigorous coursework. And then after that, you'll see there's a description of the Master Teacher of College and Career Readiness. Again, it's about 45 hours of coursework that teachers put into this rigorous course as well. It is worth noting that a teacher does not have to have this endorsement necessarily to teach personal finance or to teach the college and career readiness course. It's simply an endorsement that they acquire because they've committed to this course and committed to these hours. Having been a former principal, if I were looking at a teacher or hiring a teacher or placing a human resource in a classroom and I saw that maybe they had already said they have an endorsement because they've committed to this time and this coursework, I would be more likely possibly to put them in those classes to teach them. So that's what we're requesting here.
Very much. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, William Hamilton.
For a second,
Second, Kim Hubbard.
Hubbard. Any discussion? If so, please identify yourself. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Clemens, for that report. Item number 7, discussion and/or approval to revise Project Lead the Way, licensure options. Again, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you again, Commission. Glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity to present this item. The Office of Secondary Education is requesting approval to revise 3 Project Lead the Way licensure endorsements to become effective upon receipt of final approval by the State Board of Education. Particularly, this request is for approval to clarify the specific licensure endorsement, a valid 3-year alternate route internship, or a valid standard 5-year license holder would need in order to add a supplemental endorsement in the areas of biomedical health science, middle school STEM, and high school STEM. In the back of the material, you'll see that we give specificity to the 926, the 927, and the 928. Basically, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to open up for districts that are implementing Project Lead the Way, which is a very rigorous and an outstanding program. They're having trouble finding teachers to teach in those programs due to the licensure requirements. And so we're opening it up so that 3-year alternate route internships would be qualified to take the Project Lead the Way professional development and teach those courses in the classroom. We also are trying to open it up, like, for example, biomedical health science. We have all the sciences listed there so that they can pull from teachers who have various science endorsements. For the middle school STEM, you'll see that we've opened it up to many math and science options as far as endorsements in order to give districts opportunities to find qualified personnel to teach Project Lead the Way. And we've done the same thing with high school STEM. There's a note at the bottom where we ask that on a 983 STEM endorsement that at least the candidate have 3 years of verifiable experience teaching career and technical education STEM. And the reason for that 3-year verifiable experience teaching is because any teacher can add a 983 by going through one methods class. So, for example, you may have a physics teacher who goes to a methods class and they add a 983 to their license. But you also may have a PE teacher who goes to the same methods class and adds a 983 to their license. And so we think that will qualify a candidate to possibly have some years in classroom teaching still before they qualify to teach Project Lead the Way due to the rigor of the curriculum and the implementation. So that's the item we present today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval, this is Rilla Jones.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Second?
Second, Lisa Guy.
Thank you, Ms. Guys. Does the commission have any discussion on this item? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you.
Item number 8, discussion and/or approval for the Center for Mathematics and Science Education at the University of Mississippi request to offer an approved program supplemental endorsement for middle-level mathematics. We have Dr. Julie James, and Dr. Alice Stimley from University of Mississippi, and Dr. Marla Davis from MDE to bring this item.
I'm Dr. Rice Jackson. This is Dr. Burson. If it is the pleasure of the commission, I have added these names to each of these next items. However, I will speak to these items on behalf of our colleagues, if that is the pleasure of the group. So,
Absolutely.
good morning, and I'll proceed here. This item 13 is going to dovetail with item 10 that Dr. Murphy just shared with you on the math supplemental endorsement 901 for middle school. As Dr. Murphy mentioned, in 2018, the Math and Science Partnership ended, and that was through grant funding. And so to ensure that we have some clear pathways for middle level folks to receive licensure that will have them appropriate license to teach the middle level math, the Center for Math and Science at the University of Mississippi has been working in collaboration with the Office of Secondary Education at the Mississippi Department of Education and has developed a 96-hour instructional professional learning opportunity. And so today we're coming before the commission to ask approval of this endorsement, the supplemental endorsement that will be based upon these 96 hours, 6 hours of professional learning. That will be based on number system, ratios, and proportions, 24 hours, expressions, equations, and functions at 24 hours, geometry 24 hours, and statistics and probability at 24 hours.
Is that your report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve, David Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Is there a second?
Second, Ms. McCullough.
Thank you,
Ms. McCullough.
disapproving, right, Ms. McCullough?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're gonna actually need to recuse yourself from this item.
Can I get a second from another committee member, please?
Second, Kim Hubbard.
Hubbard. Is there any discussion on this item? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Burson, for that report. Next, we will have a discussion and/or approval of Alcorn State University's request to modify its existing elementary education K through 12 program by reducing the hours from 124 to 120. And we should have Dr. Melinda Butler and Dr. LaShondia Carson. Would that be Dr. Burson as well?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And Dr. Carson and Dr. Butler are on the phone if you were to have a question. However, as I mentioned to you yesterday during the retreat, when the Division of Educator Preparation brings requests to you commissioners, we're bringing these to the requests that we have had you submitted internally with MPE program offices and externally at other EPPs who have programs similar. And so Alcorn State University has been working very diligently as they prepare for their national accreditation visit. And a part of that work has involved really looking deeply at their elementary ed program that was reviewed by us in the fall of 2019. And while this states it's a program reduction of hours, just let me be a little bit more specific in this. In their reduction of hours, this is aligning them with what IHL is pushing all programs to move to 120-hour maximum level. But Alcorn has done some significant changes to update some of the coursework as well as to add quite a bit more field experience. So we're bringing this to you today with the recommendation that you approve.
Thank you very much for that. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval. Second?
Second, Burnell Kelly.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Burson, for that report. Now we will have a discussion and/or approval of Mississippi College's request to implement a new supplemental endorsement in the area of online instruction that can be added to a valid 3-year license or a valid 5-year educator license. This endorsement contains 12 coursework credit hours and will require new courses. Licensure endorsement code to be determined. We should have Dr. Martha D'Amico.
Demico.
Okay, Demico. Thank you, Dr. Burson.
And I'm here again to share with you Mississippi College's request to add this supplemental endorsement. As stated, this is a new endorsement, and as you well know, due to COVID, we've got a great need in the state to bolster support for online instruction. And as the state looks to deploy coaches, that will be technology coaches into the field, we find in vetting this in the program office here at MDE that this is a need for our state. This supplemental endorsement will be 4 courses, Foundations of Online Instruction, Theory and Practice, Development of Assessments for Online Instruction, Management and Resources for Online Instruction, and Differentiation Strategies for Online Instruction. And again, the Division of Educator Preparation brings this to you, Commissioners, with the request to approve the supplemental endorsement for Mississippi College.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I will entertain a motion for approval. Second.
Second, Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Is there any discussion among the commission? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much for that. The next item on the agenda, the discussion and/or approval of Mississippi State University request to modify an existing special education program, K-12 221, and we should have Dr. Donna Shea and Kelly Fondren.
Yes, ma'am, and Dr. Burson is here again, and if there are questions that I can't answer, we'll defer to our colleagues at Mississippi State. However, we were very pleased with the request that Mississippi State is bringing forward to modify their special education program. Again, this was vetted internally with our Office of Special Education, as well as with other ed prep programs that offer the same program. And what they are seeking to do is really to just update and to bolster some of their support in this program, deleting social foundations, evaluating learning, planning for the diversity of learners, and replacing those with digital tools for 21st century teaching and learning, evaluating learning in special education, and planning for diversity of learners in special education. So again, we found this to be very targeted and really looks like strong support for providing instruction to those teachers that will be working with our students with disabilities. And so we bring this to you again with a request for approval.
Thank you, Dr. Burson. I will entertain a motion for approval. Thank you, Ms. Kaplan. Is there a second?
Second, David Martin.
Is there any discussion among the commission? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Burson. Next on the agenda, well, let me say first, thank you for all of those adjustments and all of those recommendations. I think they will be well served among our education environment, as well as to serve our teachers to make sure that they're prepared, multiply prepared across the board for whatever they desire to instruct. So thank you so much for that. At this time, next on the agenda, we have a discussion and/or approval of ratifications of agreed orders and/or voluntary surrenders. Mr. Brian McGarity.
Hello, good morning. This is Scott Young, Office of Educator Misconduct. Office of Educator Misconduct does not have any new agreed orders to present to the Commission today.
Appreciate it and welcome.
Thank you.
Then at this time, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is other business. I will entertain any approval for any other business. We have none? We don't have any? We'll skip that one as well. Okay, we're skipping a loop. Well, this one I'm sure everyone is excited for. The last item on the agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion for approval to go into adjournment. Really? Okay, Ms. Taplin, thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
Second, Kim Hubbard.
Hubbard has second. I'm sure there's no discussion for that. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
okay. Any opposed that want to stay here all day? Thank you. Motion carries. We are dismissed. Thank you all for your service and thank you for being here.